Hello, JackDoesGaming Army. Welcome back to JackDoesGaming, and today we're going to be talking about a hidden gem on PlayStation 2, Predator Concrete Jungle. Now, for those of you that aren't aware, Predator Concrete Jungle was released around the time I think Alien vs Predator came out, and it's a super hidden gem. I've never really played the game, but my good friend Lee, he showed me it. We did a whole playthrough of it, and it's one of the funnest games I have ever played, and it's nice to talk about something that actually I can give a good review on. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Do leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And if you have any suggestions for games that you'd like me to do in the future, then sound off below and put them in the comment section. Thank you guys, enjoy the video. Predator Concrete Jungle was a 2005 game developed for PlayStation 2 and Xbox and was published by Eurocom and Vivendi Universal Games. The reception to the game was fairly mixed, with criticism aimed at the story and the graphics mostly. My time with Predator was honestly a fun one, and I'm going to break down what I enjoyed and what I didn't, and as always take everyone else's opinions but will form my own. This game was all action. I expected a little bit of survival horror, but given how this IP works, it wouldn't have made sense, so I'm glad it was all action. I would like to say as well that if this was a film, I would class it as the unofficial third entry in the franchise, and I would absolutely watch the shit out of it. I know you might be thinking, but you've just played it, isn't that better? Well, technically yes. I liken it to the 2009 Ghostbusters game, where it was fronted as an unofficial entry in the film and would have worked as an actual film. Despite playing it, I would still absolutely watch it. More content like this, please. Movie tie-in games usually get a bad reputation as cash grabs, and this also applies to games getting the movie tie-ins, but with this game I really did feel like the studio wanted to give an authentic Predator experience. Within the main menu there is a section where you can look at the arsenal that the Predator rocks, and this game really gave me a deeper look at what the Hunter is capable of. On top of this, you can also look at the skulls of the enemies you can claim as a trophy, which is a nice insight into who or what the Predator classes as prey. You can also unlock different costumes for Scarface throughout the game and by completing certain challenges. I rocked the Jungle Hunter cosmetic because it's probably the most iconic. The Predator is not a mindless hunter, it knows exactly what it's looking for when on the hunt, and it's also one of the reasons I love the character. There are layers to the Predator and it's such an interesting choice. The Predator works on honour, so if you're unarmed, it won't even think about attacking you. I mean, just think about the scene in the second movie where it spots the kid in the cemetery. The kid's holding the toy gun, and it knows that the kid's not a threat, it just promptly moves on. This is a mechanic I can appreciate the game for. There are civilians dotted around the map who are not a threat to you in any way, and if you target them, the reticle is green, meaning it's an unhonourable kill. Kill too many civilians and your hunt is over. Trust me, you've already landed yourself in hot water with your clan, you don't want to piss them off even more. The game starts off in 1930 in a place called New Way City. The Predator is seen jumping out of a window, badly injured and missing an eye. Now dubbed Scarface, it leaves in a last-ditch effort and attempts to reunite with his clan. The events of Scarface's actions have brought shame to him and the clan, because when Scarface escaped he left a lot of his tech in the hands of the humans, and now it's up to him to reclaim it and wipe any trace of the Yautja from the humans. The criminal gangs in the rebuilt New Way City, now known as Neonopolis, are using highly advanced weaponry reverse engineered from the equipment that Scarface had left behind to capture other Yautja and wage mob warfare against themselves. Scarface's clan offers him forgiveness if he returns to Earth, reclaims the stolen technology, and slays those who would dare to use it. Upon landing in Neonopolis, the Predator quickly begins massacring the city's gangs, soon learning that the equipment they are using is being supplied by Borgia Industries. These are the main villains of the game, Lucretia and Hunter, and they are keen on using this forbidden tech and will do whatever they can to stop the Predator and protect something known as Mother. Every time I hear that word, my brain went straight to... I won't really be spoiling the events of the second half of Concrete Jungle, as I honestly think you should go and play it if you haven't already. It's a really fun game and it's a good time. From the get-go, your equipment is fairly basic. Like, even though you're this powerhouse, it's very possible to get absolutely clowned by enemies. The balance of this is that the enemies have what is effectively your own tech, and so it levels the playing field in a unique way. Your mask utilises the different types of vision that the Predator can use: thermal, neurological, and tech. The thermal vision allows you to scan and see enemies much like it does in the movies. The neurological vision lets you get a read on enemies on what their faction/role is, and tech lets you see cloaked enemies and also allows you to see a camera's field of vision, as well as track down electrical boxes to recharge your energy. Using your mask will also allow you to zoom in via first person and use the vocal mimicry to lure enemies and obtain passwords needed for certain doors. There's no puzzles involved with getting access to areas, it's really simple and a reminder of what the Predator is capable of. You have access to a number of weapons including the wrist blade, which is your circle attack button, you have the combi stick, the maul and glaive as your triangle attack, and you also have access to the plasma caster, which can drain your energy very quickly if you aren't careful. You also have the spear gun and access to some mines that help against stronger enemies. Aim the spear gun correctly when zoomed in and you get a clean headshot on basic enemies. Cloaking's pretty cool, and it's also a very important thing to keep in mind as it can drain your energy similar to the plasma caster. I spent a lot of time cloaked and kept forgetting the uncloak, leading to difficult situations where I would be getting mowed down because I couldn't get a way to hide and find an electric box to recharge my energy. The best weapon in the game is the smart disc, it's just so needlessly OP. Lee knew this game like the back of his hand, and during our playthrough he went back through the levels and gained all the upgrades, and safe to say from that point on the game was just a walk in the park. The game's not really that difficult, but it can be unforgiving, especially with the checkpoint system and the damage output from enemies. It kinda holds your hand, but at the same time it expects you to explore and figure things out for yourself. If you haven't taken the time to seek out the upgrades throughout the levels, then the later levels and enemies you face will steamroll you. You do have the med packs available to use, however they do run on a charge system, so if you run out, your best hope is to come across some health pickups and recharge. You don't need to mix anything or combine anything as there is no craft system, it's all there ready to go when you pick it up. Luckily when you do heal, you heal all the way back to full health, and any damage dealt during heals are nullified. It does play it safe with that regard, but it's a feature that doesn't carry over to recharging your energy. If you are getting attacked during that, then you will continue to lose health. This is a fairly open game and was something that really surprised me, however this is really only noticeable in the first half of the game. During the second half it begins to get very linear and straightforward, removing any real need to go and explore, as you'll just encounter everything going from point A to point B. There are 27 levels in the game and the levels aren't really that long. Altogether we must have ticked the story off in about 4 or 5 hours, but the content doesn't end just with the story. You've got access to these ritual challenges that allow you to run against the clock and complete certain parkour challenges, and trust me, they do not fuck around. The game fully expects you to have a professional grasp on the parkour system. The stealth sections are pretty cool too. Level 5 was stealth focused for 90% of the mission, and this was the first moment where I really thought that there were some good ideas being showcased, but there just wasn't enough of it to give me an opinion on. Also, El Hongo is king. There is no need for a game character to live rent-free in my head as much as this guy. Even when it comes to killing him, we don't get into a full-on fight. Instead, we just absolutely humiliate him, and it's one of my favourite moments in any game ever.
And I didn't even get to come! El Diablo!
The boss fights in the game at first might seem incredibly mid, but then as we get further into the game they really step up a notch and give you a genuine challenge. There is one level that isn't technically a boss fight, it's more of an encounter. If I was being filmed when I encountered it with Lee, it was truly a memorable moment that made me want to rewatch all the films again. Like, there was no need for it to shock me as much as it did, and if you've played this game, you know exactly what level I'm talking about. Let me put it this way, I was almost a Yautja sandwich. Hunter and Lucretia are a combo who really test your limits, and while we don't get a lot of them in the game, they're effective as villains because they're pulling the strings and are doing some truly shady shit that no one really knows about. The parkour and traversal in this game is cool, if not a little bit janky, but this is more of an issue with the camera than anything. The game came out during a period of games that were still finding their footing with camera sensitivity and control. There was one section where it truly felt against me. There are certain surfaces that Scarface can climb to help gain a vantage point, and being able to jump from rooftop to rooftop is really cool to see. I'm just glad it wasn't fixed camera angles. The kills are absolutely top notch in this game. Whether you perform a stealth kill, a combo kill, or a weapon kill, it's all in line tonally with the Predator IP, and it's so gory and detailed and so well done. I was thinking while I was recording, like, how much of this am I going to have to censor? Like, I don't think it's bad, but given how YouTube is cracking down on censoring videos with the likes of Mortal Kombat or even Dead by Daylight, it's best to play it safe than sorry. By the way, the levels in the game are actually really well designed, and some even look amazing. The city in Neonopolis looks incredible, but as mentioned before, it's quite dystopian and quite bleak, and those are the words that come to mind. There's an area of the city that even the police won't go to, but I'm not complaining because then that means I can kill without interference. In this game, you really get a feel for the power of the Predator, and I maintain the idea that the devs wanted to craft a fun experience true to the license. Technical limitations and imagination are as much of a benefit as they are a hindrance to the game. There were moments where it felt like it was opening the door to a next-gen port rather than a current-gen port at the time, but it had a bit more time in the oven maybe. It would have made a cracking PS3 game. Part of me feels like there was a little bit of time crunch during development, and it's a shame because, like I mentioned, towards the second half of the game it becomes really noticeable.
It is haunting me. El diablo que hacen los trofeos de hombres. I gotta get somewhere safe.
If we got a remaster of this game with some fine-tuning similar to what the Insane trilogy or even the remake of Medieval did, then I do welcome it. The game was a nice breath of fresh air amongst the pieces of shit I've been reviewing lately, and it's nice of Lee to suggest it for a video on the channel, so thank you Lee, you broke the shit streak. When we finished the game I did have so many questions to ask, and fair play to Lee, he answered as best he could. I didn't expect to enjoy it as much as I did. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but god damn it, for a Predator game it's solid. Lee said that if we get a Predator game in the style of the Arkham games, and like the Spider-Man mechanics as well, it would pop the fuck off, and it absolutely would. Predator fans have been eating good these past few years since Prey, and with the release of Badlands coming up, I'm confident that it's in good hands, so who knows, maybe we'll see a revival of the game in the future, but only time will tell. Thank you guys for watching Predator Concrete Jungle. Have you played this game? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Do you have any intentions of checking it out? I really recommend it. It's a fun time. Like I say, it's not perfect, but it's a really fun time. Next up on the channel, we have a continuation of my 100 subscriber special. Now, if you've been paying close attention in this video, I have been dropping little hints as to what the next game will be. It's not one game, it's three. We're going to be talking about 3 games in one video as part of the 100 subscriber special. Drop what you think it is below, what game I'm going to be covering or what games I'm going to be covering, and I'll see you all soon. Take care guys, thank you for watching.